I'm going to give this just a few more minutes because I noticed last week or on the last stream, it didn't click on my intro until later than usual.
Yeah.
So, anyway, how you guys doing out there? Kimberly has been telling me so and so's in, so and so's in. I do want to do a big shout out and a welcome back to Perfection, who is also AKA Shay. I remember you, Shay. And if you noticed, you retained your ranking system when you rejoined, okay? Because you've got a high rank with the channel. And and what I'm saying is Shay has rejoined the tribal members, and like I said in the comments, Shay, you can also watch a special members only stream that we did yesterday. Okay, and we were only going to go 45 minutes on that stream, and we wound up going almost 2 hours, well over an hour and 40 minutes anyway. And we covered a ton of material on that. I had a bug up my behind regarding AI. I had been watching a lot of specials on it and everything, and I just had to open my mouth, and I had been promising to do, at least once a month, and perhaps more, depending on what kind of reaction we get with it, live stream separate from what I do here. Now, that will not affect my regular duties here on the regular channel. You'll still get your two. Matter of fact, in a 4-week month, you get 8 streams here, and right now you're getting one extra one over there. But it is a nice bonus, and that's what we do to thank you guys. And who am I thanking? Well, a whole lot of you that are in right now. Kimberly, could you do a shout out of some of the folks that are in right now? This is my wife, Kimberly Noland. She is my producer, my wife, and my off-screen co-host.
Yeah. Of course, we have Divining Dragons.
Christian.
Divining. Yes. And we have Dr. Insomnia. Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a little pissed off tonight. He may not be in. He said yesterday they had the day off because of St. Patty's Day, and that probably means he's going to be busy there. If he gets in, it'll be later, or he'll watch, he'll watch it on replay. But he's upset with a couple of people. Who was it, God, who did Sukiyama Mama or whatever that
Oh,
was?
yeah.
Wanda Jackson from the 50s.
Yeah.
He's livid. She may not be on the list of what we're going to be talking about tonight. And he said also Otis Redding. Well, Doc, all I can say is Roy Orbison ain't on this list, and that pissed me off. Okay?
I second
What we
that.
did is we had a round robin, and I said 53 on that. I actually added 2 to the original 53, so there was 55 singers, and some of my favorite singers got knocked off yesterday. But we have 40 left. We had to whittle it down to 40, okay? And like I said, the losers of this poll are eligible to be nominated next time around in a more manageable fashion, and they won't have to go against some of the monsters that we'll be covering tonight. What's that, baby?
Just the Facts Man, Dan is here.
Dan, it's so good to see you. Dan's been
We know
so
you've
busy.
been busy, Dan.
Yeah, Dan, take a look at that because we're talking about AI, and I told everybody there, not everybody agrees with me. Dan fully embraces AI, or to a degree, I should say, Dan. And I'm very resistant to it, right? But I said it on the stream then. Dan and I are friends, and I feel like I can say things like that, Dan. I always point people, you do a damn fine job with what you do on your channel and everything. But you were subject to, but you're a member, so you can watch that too after this stream, okay? Because the first part was about the problems that I have with AI. And Dan, I'll tell you, Michael Boswell was in, and he more than held up what you might be thinking. I think he embraces it further than you do, brother, to tell you the truth. And so him and I had a round robin. I think we came to a pretty good consensus in the end. Don't you think, baby?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, a
Very
great
good.
conversation. I think I only had 6 people in, live. Some of you have caught up on it after the fact. And I told you there would be very little notifications. This was going to be an impromptu. I'd have to feel like doing it and still be able to have the energy to give you guys the same dynamic approach that I always have, that you come to know and love and cherish like your own children. Or at least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, baby. Who else is in?
We've got Beast LVA.
All right.
I know. Beast, go. Dr. Rick is in.
Hey, Doc.
We
Doc's
got
been
Jay.
going through a real tough time.
I
He's got a touch of
know.
the COVID.
I know.
Hope you're doing well, Doc. And who else, babe?
Oh, Jay Kleban is in.
All right, Jay.
We
Good
have
to see you, brother.
Dwayne New Lady Ka.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know the name is a little bit like, I'm not sure if it goes all together, but it shows
I
that.
just shorten it to Dwayne. I've been, him and I go back and forth in comments, and not even just on this stream. Yeah, great thing. As a matter of fact, I was over on Caitlin's stream earlier today, and I announced there. So if any of you are wondering, wait a minute, if we're talking about the greatest singers of rock and roll, weren't you talking about Paul McCartney? And I will be talking just about Paul McCartney here at the beginning. It'll just take a sliver of the time that we'll devote to the greater list that I'm talking about tonight. Anybody else, baby?
Oh, yeah, we have John C. is in tonight.
Hey, John.
Awesome.
I just saw him. Yeah.
And
Hi, everyone, he says. And a big hello back, John.
Yeah, we
Timothy's in. Timothy's going through,
Yep.
or he was earlier.
Timothy Henry, yeah.
Yeah. He's going through a tough time, going through chemo.
Yeah, I know.
And prayers and thoughts to both Doc
Oh, yeah.
and Timothy, and anybody out there. You're of the tribe. You're
Amen.
included in my prayers. So more power to you, Timothy. And he always supplies, man, he's like a computer of rock knowledge, So
I
is
know.
Doc.
I
So is
know,
Doc
huh?
Insomnia. Anybody else, baby?
Zuma Van is
Zuma!
in too.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? Dan says to you, AI is just a partial tool that I use. I still have a lot to edit and put together.
Right, Dan.
So-
I know that.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
I know that.
Exactly right.
Dan even writes the dialogue that he uses there. So there's still content creating going over there. All right, I have no problem with that. When I listen to AI-driven videos, it's out. Some of them are so close that you could swear it's just a regular professional person. And then in Pompeii, and what I don't know when Pompeii happened, but we'll say 67 AD, whenever Pompeii happened, they'll go, and then they'll go Pompeii, the year 667 AD, or 667 AD, was a thriving metropolis, right? And that gets to me, right, Dan? I'd love, Dan and I need to talk about this a lot more,
Yeah.
But Dan is another brother from another mother to me. Dan McNew from Just the Facts Man. He's one of, I think I'm up to 6 channels now. But when I was only down to 4, Dan was one of the original 4 channels that I recommend, that I back up 100%. Of course, the other one is the 4 Horsemen. My good buddy Royce, who's been working his ass off lately. Poor guy. Doc Insomnia was going, hey, Royce, you better tell the tribe that Otis Redding isn't on that list,
Yeah.
And he's not. And so are a lot of people. George Harrison got knocked off of that list. Who else did you say, babe?
Royce in the house is in.
Hey, brother, we were just talking about
Yeah.
you. Were your ears burning?
Hi, Royce.
You and Dan have been the subject of conversation for the last 10 minutes, it seems like. Now, I'm just letting people trickle in, okay? I'm in no hurry like I am on Sundays because I stream 2 days a week, both at 5 p.m. PST, okay? And that's usually late morning to noonish, somewhere around there for some of my Australian viewers, okay? The next day. This channel is so damn powerful, baby. Did you know we have the ability to time travel?
Is that so?
We're doing it right now.
Yes, we are.
We are live in Australia tomorrow.
I know that's true, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
That's so cool.
the tribe can do anything.
Oh, you got it.
As a
You
matter of
know
fact,
it.
it's because the tribe is worldwide, Clyde,
That's right.
that we can time travel. If all my audience was right here in River City, where I'm at,
River
no, that's
City.
not where I'm at. I'm out of Modesto, California.
That's the Music Man. Oh boy.
There'd be no time traveling. Oh my,
Beast,
I saw
don't
that out of
relax,
the flash
just
of my
came
eye.
in. Oh, Beast, thank you so much.
Oh my God.
That's so
Okay, how
nice.
much was that? Could you read it for me?
$10. And B says, just like new technologies in the past, AI will be used as a tool and not a replacement. Mankind always finds a way to keep the humanity in his or her art. A little optimism isn't bad, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Very
Divining
well
Dragon
said,
said something similar too. Look, it's here. We might as well learn to live with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti-technology. I knew that right away. When AI started rearing its ugly head, there was a little part of me, Dan. Really, there was. Like, look, because I'm a gadget guy like you, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, I'm a gadget guy. Look around the studio, right? It's not like I'm anti-technology. And I even said in that stream last night, you'll see that I checked in. Let me just go like this. I'll just type in a bunch of silly nonsense words here. There you go, just letters. Okay, there I am. Okay, I just put myself up. If you went to that channel, I've only got like, I think I said 36, 37. I went over there this morning. It's 38. Okay, I have a song on there. It's called Audrey, This Is Your Time, in parentheses, right? I do the lead vocals on that. I play some rhythm guitar on that. And I play a Les Paul that is melted into the orchestra where you hear that wah, 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 that part of the song. All right. So you can all hear and see that. I have fooled around with this shit, Dan, but this wasn't AI. This is taking clips of orchestra, and I go, the problem it's in the wrong key. Transpose it to a different key. All right, that note doesn't fit, that note doesn't fit, and blowing them up on stream, trimming them out, rewriting the orchestra that I have as part of, say, Apple Music or Pro Tools, or which I've used both of those before, okay, and a couple of others, and you can sculpt pre-recorded orchestras to do exactly what you want. I did that on that, okay. So I'm not anti technology. Don't ever get your your mindset on that. I'm against AI whenever it involves taking a shortcut other than as a damn slave to accomplish something that the human absolutely intends for it to do so, and then the human can then get creative. I like that aspect, Dan. And I'll give you an example. The Rubber Soul remix. They used some of Peter Jackson's technology, and they went in and they could, because a lot of these recordings were even mono, right? And they go, we'll grab Paul's bass, we'll put that on track 1, then we'll grab George's guitar, we'll put that on track 2, take John's guitar, put that on track 3, we'll take each drum from Ringo's head, we'll put them on 3 or 4 tracks over there, right? And the orchestra, well, let's divide the violins. Listen to Eleanor Rigby. I mean, you can hear different strings. They divided that octet into 8 pieces, man. I'm all for that, man. I'm all for that. But if you're, we were talking about Velvet Sundown, okay, a completely fictitious band, and another video that I did as a companion piece to yesterday's stream is also on members only. And a big shout out to James, Storm Cop 55. He has really helped the membership grow. And so I feel like I got to spend some time over there, right? Not an ounce of my hours that I've always put into the main portion of my channel, this portion, is ever robbed. I'm taking other sections of my life and putting into there. And I used some of the footage that CBS used, and they allowed me to do it. I got a notification from YouTube because I don't put up videos by other artists or by content that I don't own, but they informed me that I could use it. I just couldn't monetize it. And I went, I don't monetize my members only videos at all. All right, that to me, those who are financially supporting the channel shouldn't have to financially support the channel more with having to watch a commercial, right? So that's what I do over there. So the latest two are actually all part of the one thing. You know, I think this latest one is no more than 3.5 minutes. It's got me on an intro right after. It's dark by that time. I'm outside my front door, and you can see nothing but pitch black behind me. And I introduce the video and tell you why I'm doing that. Because on the stream, I showed you the video on my iPad, but you didn't see the full experience. So I provided that for you, and YouTube allowed me to do that. It's footage that is allowed to be used, but not monetized, and I was more than fine with that. And that's as close as you'll ever get me to using anybody else's property. I'm dead set against that too, as several content creators know. Okay, so anybody else out there? Did I see Caitlin in?
Yes,
How
she
you
is.
doing, darling? Wonderful stream today. Record amount of thumbs ups over there, I hear. You know, that was good. Good Lord, you guys were having a blast. I hadn't seen Caitlin in that good of a mood in a long time. And James was over there as her co-host, right? Baby, if you see any of the Four Horsemen in making any comments regarding Rock's top singers or anything, that would be anybody from Dan or Royce, of course, Chris Elliott. Then we've got Dawson, right? Novus Nick. Anybody that's been up over there, just let me know and we'll read that out.
Okay.
Okay, because I like to support those guys. They support Royce. I support Royce. I support all of them. Okay? All right, anybody else? Baby?
Oh, who's in?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
At this point, we're not going to be, we got 42
we've
people.
got,
right.
yeah, Caitlin. We've
Yeah.
got Oh So Edgy.
Right.
Piccolina the cat's in.
Oh, so edgy. It's good to see you.
Woohoo.
Piccolina, always good to see you in. Right. Okay, so let's get this ball rolling. I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line. That's the name of the channel.
100,
Michael Noland, The Bottom
yeah.
Line. All right, only when I stream, it's me live, okay? I'm talking to you in the real here. And my other portions of my channel deal with pre-recorded videos. All right, if I make a mistake in the middle of that and I go, well, Paul, you know, say I'm talking about Paul McCartney and I go, well, Paul Mastarkey, and then I'll go freeze, that was a mistake, and I'll know pretty much where my hand is within this range. And I go, well, with Paul McCartney, and then I'll go do it. I try to do a more professional job. As you well know by watching my stream, this is anything but professional, okay? But it gives me a chance to talk to the tribe. Now, what is the tribe? We talked about that already. Tribe is worldwide. We have subscribers in Australia, England, Germany, France. Oh, God, here we go. Canada, Mexico, the United States, both coasts and anything in between, you know?
Blair Hatton has something to say, hon.
Yeah?
He says, Steve Marriott, if he's not mentioned, then you're not doing this properly.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll talk about who's on the list. I'm going to go down the list, And then we're going to go over where we are so far on the poll. I have the first 3 parts out right now. Okay, and I'll explain to you how we kind of came up with the list. All right, and do keep in mind, Steve Marriott was on the early part of my list right away. He's awesome, freaking awesome. Deserves to be in the Mount Rock Olympus Hall of Fame, but there's only 20 spots available out of a field of 40. In other words, in each poll, the top 2 vote getters will be nominated in the fall, along with the already 20 added drummers we just got through adding on my last poll. Okay? But yeah, I agree with you, Steve Marriott. He's a monster. He's a monster. However, Terry Super Lungs Reed is in. He survived. Because I know your average classic rock, fan that listens to the radio but doesn't know much about the bands and the artists and stuff, may not ring real clear to a lot of you. Let's just say that there was at one point that Jimmy Page wanted Terry Reid as Led Zeppelin's next lead singer. Wasn't even looking at Robert at that point. Didn't know he needed Robert, but and Terry Reid could have very easily have matched, if not thorough range, but power and delivery and ability to control notes and everything. He survived. He's on that list. Okay, so here we go. Before we get into that, it's just been announced that here in 2026, that Paul McCartney will be doing what I have been suggesting the man to do for 4 freaking years since I've been on YouTube. My biggest criticism of him, first of all, for new viewers, new subscribers, if you're out there and you're watching this, know that if I have a number 1 guy in rock and roll, it's Paul McCartney. Okay? The Beatles is the number 1 band in rock and roll. And Robert Plant is my favorite singer in rock and roll. But for total output, all right, and Paul would be probably number 2 or 3 on that list of the greatest singers to me. Robert Plant has always been the greatest singer in rock. And I'm not just talking about his prime, because look what he's done with his voice as an older man after he's suffered serious problems and relatively early in his career. Okay? So now keep in mind the criteria that we're also, some of the criterias that we'll be thinking about this later on. It'll be their delivery, okay? It will be their range, and their ability, their chops, in their ability to change notes in an interesting way that isn't quite being delivered, blah, 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 right? Like when Elton John first came out, I couldn't, I had to learn that, isn't it a little bit funny? When he go that feeling inside, all those, but he glissandos himself down in that. So that would be part of it. As far as what they have delivered to rock and the band or just them as a solo artist counts a lot. So I was really surprised and quite pleased to read that Paul McCartney has agreed to do at least 2 shows down in LA at a theater, which I've been saying, you guys know, longtime viewers know I've been saying this all along. That's what he needs to do. Get down and dirty, right close up to the people, and then usually I tag the next line in as, and instead of charging $1 billion for your tickets, Paul, how about instead of a Got Back tour, we get a Give Back tour? Now, I'm not asking Paul to take it in the shorts financially. I'm just asking him to make less than he has recently. He's a billionaire. And he got there because of his fans supporting him and showing up at a theater. That's great. I was happy. There. Now fans can really see him. So what was my other concern? Well, of course, we talked about that. Ticket prices. So, anyway, let me get over here, and then I want to do that before we get started with the main thing. All right, so folks, here we go. Here's what we're dealing with. This is a nice small theater. Okay? There you go. See that? All right. For those who can pitch up on the screen, you might notice what I'm going to show you next. Because on the left-hand side of that was the ticket prices. So let me go into a blow-up of that. And here we go. Oh, complete with aerodynamics and stuff showing and pointing. Okay, so these are the ticket prices. So, for the best seats in the house, you can get those, and that's called general admission floor. Okay, best seats in the house, depending on how close you get to them, right? The cheapest of those will be $1,000, $8,642, and that's if you buy at least 2 tickets. They go up otherwise, especially as there's just one seat left, and that's going to cost you a lot, right? And they go for as much as 10 grand. Can you believe that, baby? 10,000.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
So if you and I went and we wanted those seats, that cost us 20 grand.
Yes.
In what freaking universe? I don't
know.
And these are general admission floor seats. But they do have a balcony. And I didn't look up the balcony tickets, but they're somewhere between the balcony I'm going to talk about and the seated balcony. Now, a lot of you are going, what you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
Aren't all the seats seated balcony? No.
Oh,
they got an outer ring, and it's standing room only. I thought we were past that. What's that, baby?
Oh, I mean, your story.
Oh.
There's standing room on the balcony?
No, they're selling standing room.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Want to know what those start at?
No, but yeah.
$7,778 or 8 grand.
Oh,
and if you're standing with your woman and she's getting groped next to whoever there, it'll only cost you 16 grand for that pleasure.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. But there's some good standing room. What does that mean? There's not a beam of concrete between you and Paul? Or the 7 grand, do they, I mean, standing is standing, outer room is outer ring, or are they dividing it? Are they putting a little dividing area? Well, the front of the standing people, Anyway, I guess that's what they're talking about somehow, or a better view. The standing ones dead center onto stage, they'll cost you $9,506.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
When I saw this, I went, okay. He does one good thing and then he just turns around and does this.
Yeah.
I mean, in what freaking universe?
He forgets who his core audience is. He wants, big bucks.
Yeah.
He thinks he's extremely valuable, and he is.
Well, and you can also tell who people are friends with, and then what their friends will say. Well, guess what the chit-chat around the rock star boiler room is?
Yeah.
When they just get together and chit-chat. Yeah, remember, another rock star that charges almost as ridiculous prices as this, just wait.
I know.
Because he never lets Paul beat him for too long. And we're talking about Bruce Springsteen. They're good buddies. And Bruce Springsteen says, you need to make what your, and he dares to call himself, what your equals are.
Royce just came in with a $10 super.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you so much, Royce.
Let me check this out.
Oh, that's
awesome. Oh, that's so awesome, brother. That is awesome. Can you read what Royce is saying here?
Yeah, he says, Michael, write about Steve Marriott. Jimmy Page asked him first to front Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Then Terry Super Lungs Reed after Robert Plant.
Yeah, and Royce, he even went, is there more?
Yes, he says, however, at the time, Page was unaware of Robert Plant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure. And before he even got to Robert Plant, those weren't the only two that he was looking for, Royce. If you read the details of the story, there were several people he was set up to meet. And he was, when he met Plant and Bonham, he was mainly there. I mean, he was looking at Plant. It was through Terry Reid saying, you really got to go check this guy out. But whether he was there primarily to see Plant at first, because I also heard stories he went there to see Bonham primarily. I can tell you that first night, it was Bonham that knocked his socks off. He could see the talent with Plant, but he had some doubts about Plant that kind of hung on right on through their first album and the first tour. And by the end of that tour, he was 1 billion times sold on Robert Plant to be in it. So thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Okay, so that covers it. What do you guys think about this with the McCartney? I mean, even if you had the money,
Yeah,
even if I had, say I was a multimillionaire, say I was worth $2 million, okay?
Yeah.
All right, not a major millionaire, but say I had 2 million. Yeah, I could access, I don't know, 1.5 million and liquidate it quick.
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
10 grand, I don't know. But see, a millionaire Michael would also have my life experiences and everything. And so some folks are born, made to wave the riches, you know. They love it when they're red, white, and blue and true. And then there's people who come to, what they call new money. And for the most part, Paul McCartney's new money. His billions only came in the last, half a century, right? That's still considered nouveau rich, as they say in the Garden of...
Yeah, I like what Jay Cliban says.
Yeah.
He says, do you think Macca would pay that much to see Macca?
No, I don't.
That's a great point, Jay.
No, I don't, because here's a quote from Paul. Paul talks about all the time when he's interviewed about how John Lennon got 100 pounds for his 16th birthday, I believe.
Yeah.
And he took Paul to, they went to France. They were going to go elsewhere, but they wound up in France. While they were there, they tousled their hair and came back and invented Beatle haircuts somehow. Yeah. But Paul often says, to this day, if somebody hands me a 100-pound note,
yeah,
he goes, that's a lot of money. So,
yeah.
See what I mean? He's nouveau rich. He understands the worth of $1, and look what he's charging us.
He does, and that's why he's charging that much money, honey.
And
because he learned the value of it, and he wants as much as he can get.
Right, and it really does have to get down to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the guy.
Yeah.
He's the kind of husband that most women would have liked.
Yeah.
If you were willing to be married to a musician.
Michael
very
Harry.
family oriented, wouldn't even send his kids off to special school, so we know he wouldn't spend this kind of money, right? He sent his kids to general school, public school.
Yeah.
What were you saying, baby?
I was just saying that Michael Harrington said it was his 21st birthday.
21st? Oh, was it that late in it? Yeah, that makes sense, because right around... Yeah, because up until that, they had the greased back hair and all of that, still wearing the leathers and cowboy boots. I never understood cowboy boots and motorcycle attire,
Yeah.
Maybe the big Harley boots, I got a pair of those.
Yeah.
I love the Harley boots, but, cowboy boots, but it was the thing. You had to be there. And that very much when they were still Teddy boys, right? Good point, Michael.
Teddy boys, yeah. Yep.
All right, so anyway, I thought I'd open up with that because, that just bothers me. This is things that are just happening all the time, and we've somehow, I don't know, this is when I talk about somehow collectively we as a people, and that's the general population in any given area. whether it's a country or a state or a county, a city, a block, a family. We got to get back to the garden in regard to, okay, this
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
freaking ridiculous.
yeah.
You know?
Well, it's self-serving, that's for sure.
Well, these are the elites.
Well, that's what
that
I'm
a
saying.
lot of these rock stars say we need to get rid of the
He's
oligarchs.
doing it for the elite class and
Right.
not for the original fans
Right.
of that put him where he is.
Well, if anybody in rock was an oligarch, it would be McCartney
Yeah,
and maybe
yeah.
Springsteen.
Yeah.
Both Dylan. They're all in the billionaire status now.
Yeah,
Paul
yeah.
had that spot for decades before they came along. I think he temporarily lost it with that second marriage of his, but soon scoped it up and he was worth $1 billion plus again. But everybody's talking about get rid of oligarchy. Get rid of oligarchy. The oligarchs are ruining the world, and yet a lot of the people that are saying that are freaking oligarchs. And I don't understand that. Don't look here. Look at the man behind the curtain. For I am the Wizard of Oz. I don't know. It's ass backwards to me. I don't understand. So that just blew me away when I came up and I said, I got to at least acknowledge that before we get on to the main part of this stream today. Now, I got to get my notes over here because I've got this one over there. See, okay, got to go all the way down or most of the way down. Let's see here. What I'm looking at is my notes, folks, for the top singers in rock and roll. Again, think about, I'll give you an example. My favorite singer in rock and roll, like I said before, was Robert Plant. It's what he could do with a note. It was his range. It was his delivery, okay? His ability to fit in with a very bare bones band. Most of the time, he had a bass guitar, a drummer, and a guitarist. Or for the real big productions, or production numbers, he had a keyboard player who was playing bass pedals, a drummer, and a guitarist. Pretty bare bones, okay? Barbed wire bare bones, and it's his voice often that fit in. And each of them would fill in, right? Fill in the blank spots. He could do that very well. I talked about how Elton John, when I first heard his style of singing, it was like, okay, that's all. It's like he was the first guy to come up with hiccuping those notes that are now so damned popular on every damn talent show, TV show, like America's Got a Toilet, right?
Yeah.
They all do vocal acrobatics. To me, that's craft. That's not art. You can learn, obviously, to do that. Because it's not just like, it's not like Janis Joplin coming out, one of our greatest singers, and delivering a line. And to this day, nobody would, the best thing they could do is mimic it note for freaking note, right? Because she perfected it. And that's another thing. Singers who, through their delivery, perfected the song. Those are the key elements. And longtime viewers will always know that I have a set of criteria when I come up with these lists. Okay? So these are all singers. We're going to be covering singers who have a chance. They've all been inducted. I'm going to go through this list of 40 singers. They've all been inducted or nominated at this point for the Mount Rock Olympus Hall of Fame. For new viewers out, what's that? It is what I was forced to do and what a whole lot of you people demanded that I do, and that was start our own damn Hall of Fame, because I'm famous for complaining about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's broke. It's already it's on auto destruct. There's nothing rock and roll about it anymore. And the few elements that, the few rockers that do get in, it belittles their nominations. Okay? I don't care who gets in. If Mariah Carey, the scary, gets in, if I was nominated, and Mariah Carey was nominated, I'd go, well, I guess I'm not that good. Now, I know a lot of you love her. She ain't ever going to show up on this list. So if you're looking for Mariah Carey, wrong Hall of Fame. You won't find a Missy Elliott on this list. You will not find an LL Cool J, Eminem. All right, you're just not going to find them there. As a matter of fact, on this first knot, I had to kind of stay in the classic rock era for the most part. There's a few 50s and stuff. So that was part of the problem. Now, how did we get this down to 40? Like I said, I had a total of 55, and I did a special impromptu stream last night for the members, and we had a real small crowd, and I thought, yes, this is the time to do it. Because I had a dilemma, folks. I had a dilemma. I was looking at this and I go, I've got 55 members and it's a 10-part poll, 4 per. That means I've got 15 great, worthy, ultra talented vocalists on my list already. And that's when I had 52 and you guys demanded more. Okay? And we'll talk about one of those. And Brandon 1351 is very disappointed, and it was through Brandon that we added that person. He's the one. I said, okay, because during that stream, I wanted them to feel empowered and to help me out, because if I take off, then only my cream of the crop favorites are going. And I already put this list together with a lot of input from you guys when I first announced it weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Okay, so it was already a hybrid, and now, oh man, and then we had people, it went beyond just adding the 3, because somebody would get knocked off and then someone said, oh, come on, Michael. You got it. We typed in a couple, didn't we, babe? Baby?
What, honey?
We typed in a couple of people.
Oh, yes.
As well.
We did.
So
we
it wasn't
added.
just the 3 singers that they added before that. There must have been 7 or 8 that they added. And then then more of the original list got knocked off. So this is with a lot of input from me to you early on, and from me and the members who were able to give me. If I had tried to do this with the crowds we get over here on the regular channel, it would have been just about impossible to go through that process. It was almost impossible with 6 to 8 members watching us, okay, at that time. All right, so who am I talking about? Who made the list, the general list, and then we're going to go over and we're going to talk about the poll itself, where we're going, and you know what? You guys have been so kind and everything. I'll give you a preview of the next couple, maybe 3 parts for you guys to water your mouth with on what's coming up and who's going to be nominated against who. So this first 50 list, this will be interesting to go through. But then think about it as I go through these names. Who's he going to pair up against who? All right. I said I wouldn't be pairing. I'm going to do my best not to pair up members from the same band or very strong connections. I think for the most part, I was able to do that. Okay. But basically, in other words, well, I'll explain that as we go down. Here's the list. What's that, baby?
Oh, Dan just said, I sure hope Brad Delp is on this list. But I didn't hear his name.
Yeah.
Maybe I...
No, he's not. He didn't make it.
I
he
didn't think
certainly
so.
deserves it. He's one of the best singers out there.
I know, but this is not, it's not you and me picking. This is the tribe.
Yeah, it got there. Doc brought up a couple of people that he thought should be on there. Otis Redding. I know. Yeah, he
definitely.
was. By the way, before you got in, Royce, yeah, he was pleading with you in the comments before. Oh, God, that must have been when I woke up this morning and got myself out of bed, But
Doc Insomnia just said, He's not talking about power vocal till he mentions Otis.
Yeah, Otis Redding. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just going to say that, baby.
Yep.
He was going, he was pleading with Royce. Would you knock some sense into the
I
man and get
know.
Otis Redding up there?
But it's not your choice or my choice.
No, it
Yeah.
really isn't.
It's the tribe who's
Yeah.
picking this.
I'd say there's, out of these 40, 10 of them were mine.
Yeah.
Straight up hard. And anybody who's been listening to my channel will probably figure out which ones were mine. But I've always done this too, folks. I'll make a list from strongest to whatever, and then as you guys add to that list, I take off my weakest ones that in my head, this guy's great, but so-and-so, he's a monster. Sorry, great guy, you gotta go. Because Tomasita out there told me to put in that guy, right? That's how I do this, okay? That's the nuts and bolts of it. So don't shoot the messenger, folks. Please don't shoot the messenger. Don't do that. Makes me nervous. All right. So here are the 40, and then we're going to discuss how they're blending and who they're going to go against. Number one, and this is not—they're not ranked. These are just how I typed them up as I thought of them. Okay, Robert Plant, Led Zeppelin, John Lennon, The Beatles, Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam, and when we were voting today, or yesterday, I thought he'd get knocked off because he often gets criticized, Roger Daltrey, The Who, Jim Morrison, The Doors, Freddie Mercury, Queen, Pat Benatar, Linda Ronstadt, Prince, Van Morrison, Janis Joplin from Big Brother and the Holding Company and her solo career, short though it was, Paul Rogers, Bad Company, Free, and his solo efforts. Sammy Hagar, Montrose, Van Halen, and his solo efforts. Sebastian Bach, Skid Row. Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden. Phil Collins, Genesis. Peter Gabriel, Genesis. And both of these also, Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins, for their solo work as well. Rob Halford, Judas Priest, Tom Petty of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac and her solo career. Roy Orbison was in this. Well, I must be reading the master list because he got knocked out. Elton John is on it. So there may be some changes. So I'll give you a full preview of what's going to happen with this poll. Ann Wilson of Heart, David Bowie, Steve Perry of Journey, Paul McCartney, The Beatles, Wings, solo, right? Jay Ferguson, JoJo Gunn, solo. Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull, the Allman Brothers Band, John Anderson, Yes. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath and solo career. Stevie Wonder, Paul Simon, Elvin Bishop, Art Garfunkel, Christine McVie, Fleetwood Mac, and Terry Superlungs Reid, along with Steve Walsh from Kansas. And Steve Walsh was the one that Brandon from Down Under got on this list. And he was on, I think, the very first part one. And Brandon's not very happy about it, neither am I. There's two people, I'm not sure I would have voted for Steve Walsh, but he's one of two people that first came. It would be between him and who else was that? Why do I think Christine McVie was on that one? I'm not sure. Let me see. Let's go to part one. All right, so here's how I paired them up in part one from that master list. And of course, the question is, which of the following singers do you believe should be inducted into the Mount Rock Olympus Hall of Fame? You could choose Steve Walsh from Kansas. And by the way, you have the power to change this, folks. This will go until I call an end to it live on the air on one of my upcoming streams. And I don't know how long this is going to go. It's a 10-part poll. We're only 3 in, and I kind of hurried the first 3 just so that I had a warm-up for you guys to taste, okay? So he was nominated. Rob Halford from Judas Priest was nominated. Steve Perry from Journey, and Ann Wilson from Heart.
Woohoo.
All right? And out of these, I love Rob Halford. I don't like Steve Perry. Kimberly does. She was happy to see him
I
survive.
love Steve Perry's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Notice
If
Axl
Michael
Rose.
Boswell was here, he'd agree with me.
Yeah. No, a lot of people love Journey. I'm in the minority on that.
Yeah.
And I love their first 2 albums.
You know
And I
what?
love.
Somebody mentioned Chris Isaacs. We love,
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, what a velvet voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's great.
Chris Isaac,
Yeah. Not a bad character actor either.
Eric Burden is great.
Yeah.
Alvel brought up Eric Burden.
Well,
and
Royce
I agree
knows
with
what
him.
I feel about
I love
Eric
Burden.
Yeah, we've done episodes on him.
Oh, yeah, he's
I think
great.
he's. Yeah, and Eric Burden is one of those inflection,
Yeah.
carefreeness, and I'll fook you up while I sing to you
Yeah.
kind of attitude. God, great guy. Okay, so out of those 4, right now, Steve Perry is leading with Ann Wilson of Heart. And then in 3rd place is Rob Halford, and he's only 4% underneath Ann Wilson. But a sad 8% for Steve Walsh from Kansas.
Yeah.
Dust in the Wind, Carry On, Wayward Son. My God.
I know, I love his voice.
All right. But
Yeah.
you know what? If there was a mass transmigration over to the pole right now, he still has a shot. It's as early as you can be in this poll. But I was disappointed in that. Now, in part 2, the nominations are Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, Peter Gabriel of Genesis and his solo career, Elvin Bishop. You know what? I fooled around and added Elvin Bishop, baby.
Elvin Bishop.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, God, yeah.
Yep, I fooled around and
I
added
love
Elvin
his
Bishop.
voice.
And Christine McVie of Fleetwood
And of
Mac.
course, I love Christine McVie. She's my favorite singer of
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, I know she is for you.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. I'm more into her songwriting than her voice, but her voice is wonderful.
Oh,
it's
my
just
goodness.
that.
I just fell in love with
Yeah.
that deep voice of hers.
Yeah, but when I'd
Yeah.
have to compare her vocal chops to Peter Gabriel or Steven Tyler, I can see why she's right now in a narrow 3rd place. Peter Gabriel's in 2nd place with 29%. She has 25%. She's only 4% out. She's still a threat. And Kimberly wants all of you to go vote for her, right? Peter Gabriel and Steven Tyler. You know, I don't know which one of those 2 I'd vote for. Probably Steven Tyler only this time around, only because I gave him vocal performance of 2025. What he did at the Back to the Beginning after destroying his vocal cords and breaking his voice. That's how they even announced it. Steven Tyler is retiring because he broke his voice. Broke it. Just snapped it in half. You didn't think he was coming back. And he gave one of the very best performances he's ever given. I mean, this guy was on, you know. But then I go, Peter Gabriel. My God. I was just playing for Kimberly before we got up. What was that? The one he did with Kate Bush. The song he did, I think it's off his So album. Don't Give Up. Right, baby?
Yep. Oh, I love that
Oh,
one.
I love that song.
Yes.
That's you know, that song
Beautiful.
that song is about everything I think a relationship, a romantic,
Yes.
long-term relationship
Yes.
between a man and a woman should
Oh,
be.
yeah. Definitely.
What it moves me practically
Exactly.
to tears.
It's moving. Very moving.
But I didn't cry this time.
You're
No,
silly.
I refuse.
It takes a lot to make you cry. So
I just went like this while so I was going, neener, 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 neener. Seemed to work.
little boy Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
if I was in the bathroom in a dark room and I had it on and I was sitting on the floor and watching it, I'd bawl my eyes out probably. Okay, and then now we've got to part 3, and then we'll go over how this is all going to work out, folks. Part 3. Again, the nominations are Paul McCartney, The Beatles solo. I should have included Wings there.
Oh.
Sebastian Bach, Skid Row. Jim Morrison, The Doors. Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac and her solo career. Right? Believe it or not, Stevie Nicks is not in last place. That's disappointing. No, I love her. I love her songs and everything, but I don't like her. And so these guys are all great vocalists. She is too. I like her voice, the growl.
Gary Springs brought up a great voice. How about Melissa Etheridge?
Oh, yeah.
Melissa Etheridge has a kick-ass voice, like Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one who could have added.
Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah, I had about, I think, 8 or 9 gals on this list. Maybe even more. And a few of them got taken off. They got voted down. They got voted off the island. Right? And we still wound up with 4 or 5 that managed to get on the 45, the 40 list. Okay? But Sebastian Bach is in last place at 3%. She's at 9%. Jim Morrison is in second place. And if this holds, all these second place and first places will be inducted in the fall when we do our special show that will also induct 20 rock singers. And of course, Paul McCartney is leading the pack at 65, and so far, out of the 3 parts, he has the largest lead of all. The only one that can come close to him is Steven Tyler's performance in the one just before that with a 44% lead. But 66 so far. That's a major amount.
Yeah.
And take a look at the people that he's up against. Jim Morrison, I thought Jim Morrison would be a danger for him. And he's the one, and Jim Morrison is the one that's holding second place. So I wasn't wrong that he wasn't a good competition. And as I explained yesterday, you'll see a couple of, big names and a couple of names of singers that are classic rock gods, but they're not like from the Beatles or they're not from Led Zeppelin or something like that.
Brian Howard said, never cared for Sting as a singer. I found his voice whiny and out of tune. That's funny because Michael and I both have singers that we find irritating.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was so glad yesterday because I had Axl Rose on the list.
Yeah.
I try to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, when I got to his name, I go, and by the way, did I remind you that you could vote these guys off the island?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sure that had nothing to do.
Well, just like I don't care for Rod Stewart's voice. It irritates me.
Right. And I think he's one of the best singers.
I know. Isn't it weird?
Did I think he may have been on the original list. No, probably not, because I like Bob Tench better than him.
Yeah.
But he's a master blues singer.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of my favorite singers, Rod Stewart, man.
I know.
That's one of the ones we disagree on.
I find his voice a little irritating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But just what Axl Rose did to Paul McCartney's Live and Let Die alone.
Yeah, that made you mad.
Oh, man.
I know, crazy.
Oh, man. And a lot of the people out there right now, Royce loves him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Almost got into one of those videos for him. Yeah, he was in the audience all dressed up to be filmed for the video. See, he's a major fan. A lot of you people are. I think Caitlin was saying, she loves Motley Crue. I hate Motley Crue. Can't stand Motley Crue. But that's okay. Caitlin loves them. I don't. Royce loves, I don't. Kimberly, who is it that you like that I don't care for? I'm trying to remember. Mariah Carey. She loves Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
I can't freaking stand to hear. I get hives listening to that woman, right?
And I love
Rod Stewart. She can't stand. See, that's part of the tribe.
Yeah.
And it's a conglomeration of what we all think and how it evolves. And then we get a tribal decision.
Michael Boswell and I agree more than you agree with Michael Boswell.
Yeah,
Because he likes the people I like.
yeah,
Yeah, I find that, I agree a lot with him.
yeah.
Whereas
Oh, and
you
by the
guys-
way, I love ABBA.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
You know,
Me too.
I'm not just into rock and roll.
ABBA, great.
And they're rock enough. I consider them rock pop. I like good pop, man. I like my ABBA tapes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like my ABBA tapes. What was
Yeah.
that for? Saturday Night Live. Dan Aykroyd did a bit on that.
Yeah.
He's, well, okay, I'll take my ABBA tapes. You know, it was a joke back then. Nobody wanted to admit they liked ABBA, and I went, I think they're freaking great. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, where Michael and I diverge is on Avatar shows, and yet, you know what, Michael, if you're out there, is Michael in the audience tonight?
No, he's not here
Okay.
tonight.
Well, he'll watch this on the replay.
Yeah, yes, he will.
Michael and I actually came to a consensus, and that's why I wish Dan had been on yesterday. Because, Michael and I were talking about this as far as the musicians, and then if we could have done a thing on AI, that would have been real good.
Yeah.
Because, believe it or not, Dan, Michael changed kind of my viewpoint on Avatar shows. Now, I'm still not going to go to one. Unless it's down the block. You know, if they got an Avatar show, next time I'm at Disneyland.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or I'm on Fisherman's Wharf and they got an Avatar show going on, or whatever. I might walk in, pay a dime, and go to it. And here's how where I started to see his point of view on them, because he's pointing out that the AI used in those Avatar shows are merely for timing and projecting, and it's the artist behind them that's creating them. And I went, and that's kind of like coming from the generation that grew up on video games. I happen to be a rarity of my generation. I love video games. I play them. And the more real it looks, I'm into. And so I started looking at that, and he inserted his wording right after I said, well, the problem is we're a lot of people are from the generation of video games, and what is the definition of real anymore? And then he goes, but you said you like video games, that kind of thing. And then I go, okay, as long as it remains a Disney ride, I'm okay with Avatar shows. With serious reservations. I think the negative. So if you're going in, you want to see whiz bang wow and hear great versions of the music, and the blonde girl looks exceptionally cute tonight. I can't ever, they're one of the A's, I think. Okay, that's good. That's good. I could see myself properly enhanced having a good evening, I suppose. Okay, I'm not that crotchety. But to pay tickets and then drive 2 hours or fly 3 hours and have an overnight's not a freaking chance, and they're still too expensive, although they're not as bad as some things that are going on right now. Okay, we also talked about how, the Eagles at the Sphere, and how they've had to change their entire approach. Don Henley recently saying they've even changed songs. They're changing the slides behind them that projects on the wall, and they've added more shows. He says this will be the last year, and yet right after he says that, he's also talking about how they're changing the shows, even though they've added shows already. This is after they've added shows. We're changing the shows. So there's more shows to begin with. I can't, and do you believe an eagle? Who the hell believes an eagle anymore?
Yeah.
No, we're real serious. This is the long farewell goodbye. Sayonara, would never want to see you, kick you in the ass, and we'll be out of here forever. And we promised a God tour. When? Go! Leave! Good Lord! And then on top of that, we've talked about how those shows in AI and how it's run, they practically have to have certain portions of the band pre-recorded. I'm claiming that. It hasn't been proven, but I suspect, however, it has been proven that Don Henley is singing to backing tracks, and yet he's on the list. Okay, because in his prime, that's where he is. We're not voting on these rock singers based on where they are today. We're not. Paul didn't make it because his voice is in repair today. Didn't happen. Okay, we're judging them what they brought to the thing and them at their best. And if they still sound good, despite some breaking down like Robert Plant, then that even gives them extra chances of being on the list, as you could tell by some of the people I picked. All right, so we covered part one, part two, and I said before I shut down tonight that I wanted to give you a preview of what to expect. And how long have I had part three out? 5 hours. I'll have part four. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of that right now. I'll have that out within 3, 4, 5 hours after the stream. Okay? I like to give each portion time to kind of collect as many votes as it's going to get on that first blush. And then I put out another one that kind of encourages people to go back and catch up. We've got over 1,000 votes on part one, 744. I was surprised because part three is creamed that by 100, right? And I was surprised that part two only had 744, and it's been out for 16 hours. So get on over there. If we get the same amount of votes, that whole thing could change. Nobody has a great enough lead, even with the 44% Steven Tyler, if a bunch of you went over and voted on that like you are on these first two, okay? So part four, and now you'll start seeing when I go over these how I've paired these people up. That you can blame on me, okay? But it's the best I could do, folks. And here we go, part four. Here are the nominees. Don Henley, Eagles, and his solo work. He goes against Terry Super Lungs Reid, who goes against Phil Collins, Genesis, and his solo work, who goes against, and I was so surprised, I thought this guy would get knocked off this number 4 nomination. I really did. I was secretly hoping maybe they'll just ignore him, because Robin, very reluctantly, I might add, but she was probably Hatchet Girl of the night, wasn't she, baby?
Rockin' Robin Bird, yeah.
She didn't want to do it at first, but I kept. There was a long time. Come on, guys, give me another one.
And then she just kept going and going and going.
And then when she got the spirit, there was no stopping her. She knocked off two of your very favorite.
Yep.
She knocked off two of your very favorite.
Yep, and that's okay because it's Rockin' Robin Bird.
Yeah, and I had 4 or 5 of mine knocked off.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jay Ferguson from JoJo Gunn in his solo career. That'll be part 4. Don Henley, Terry Reid, Phil Collins, Jay Ferguson from Spirit and JoJo Gunn. I need to add that before that goes up. Let me add that real quick here. Spirit, comma. There we go. All right, we want to give him his proper accreditations, okay? Spirit is the band that has connections with Stairway to Heaven, okay? First band to have a bald-headed man. I remember when they came out and he had a shaved head. I go, what the hell is that? These days everybody shaves their head. But back then, the only bald-headed man you saw was either that guy, the black guy that went, Cola Nut or Cola Nut, or cartoons of Mr. Clean. It wasn't a stylish thing back then. Long hair was. And it just, wow, that's weird. It just blew me away. Okay, part 5. Here's who's going to be nominated and who they're going to go against each other. Van Morrison, Janis Joplin, Big Brother and the Holding Company, and her solo work. Art Garfunkel and Stevie Wonder. My God. Art Garfunkel, I'm talking just on his vocals. See, he's not being voted because he's a great songwriter, because he wasn't. That belonged to Paul Simon. But because of his great vocals. Bridge Over Troubled Water, my God, Stevie freaking Wonder.
Yeah. What a
Matter of
great
fact, I'm
voice.
probably a bigger fan of Stevie Wonder than Art Garfunkel and Janis Joplin and Van Morrison, and I love all of those guys.
And I never even got to hear Brian Adams' voice in the mix at all.
Funny how that
Yeah,
guy didn't come to my
Beast
mind.
LVX brought him up.
Oh,
He's
thanks,
the
Deuce.
only one. And I love it, Beast. I'm with you. Brian Adams.
There's another
Yeah.
one. There's another one. I just
I love Brian Adams'
yeah, I
voice.
know.
Oh, it's so romantic. He's got such a, he's got that edge to his voice, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, I have to kind of go. Well, it's okay. Otherwise, she won't make me dinner.
Oh,
You know.
he's just a romantic singer.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I know everybody loves him, and he just doesn't do it
You
for
want to
me,
put
man.
a girl in the mood, put some Brian Adams
Is
on.
there anybody out there that agrees with me that he's overrated?
No.
Anybody? Please.
No, he's not.
Please, folks, come on now.
He's excellent. Come on.
Okay, yeah, I know he's big. I know he has a ton of fans, and I can even make a scientific argument as to why he has a great voice. I can see all that.
What is the problem then?
Eh,
What's in? I mean, that's
he
what
opens up
exactly-
and it just doesn't hit me.
Really?
And his face bothers me.
His
and-
face. We're talking
and his
about
voice bothers
We're
me.
talking about the voice, not his face.
I'm just trying to find reasons. Does anybody out there agree with me?
Rockin' Robin Bird is
Bono.
laughing,
Yeah,
and she
Bono
says
is overrated.
no.
Notice no Bono? I had him on the list.
Oh, Rockin' Robin
Rockin' Robin Bird, I think, is the one that knocked Bono off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Ray Charles could have easily been on this. Captain Beefheart. I was just listening to some of his stuff. Excellent vocalist. Yeah, see?
Oh,
I love
my
that.
Goodness, I love.
Nobody's. Let's see. Siding with Michael would be wrong.
Caitlin is siding with you.
Caitlin?
Yeah.
Damn it! For the most part, I was pretty well behaved on your stream
Brian
today.
Howard Brian Adams, Canada forgives you, Kim. I still love Brian Adams.
That's I think because
Sorry.
what I'm seeing is early Brian Adams is good. Yes, Brian Adams is not a singer. Okay, I'm getting something back here. Tom Waits, yeah. What a magnificent. Yeah, I like Tom Waits actually.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, I love him. Yeah, Adams is awesome. You would say so, Caitlin.
Oh, there we go. Caitlin's with me. So there.
Yeah,
there.
but Caitlin likes Motley Crue.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Who can trust her?
Somebody's got to stand up for me, Caitlin.
Oh, God. Royce, would you tame Caitlin?
I love Caitlin.
She's got a wicked tongue, that last she
No,
does.
she's just a sweetheart.
Oh, my goodness.
She's only guilty of being a sweetie.
You know I love Caitlin.
Oh my
Are you kidding
goodness.
me?
Ben
Oh my
just
goodness.
came into the chat.
Oh,
with
Ben
a
Scheidegger.
$10
You know,
Ben. Oh, thank you, Ben.
This is on the heels. He gave us a $20 yesterday. As a matter of fact, would you read that? And then before we get any
I
further, I'm
will.
going to read each part.
I'm
So you
just-
guys are getting a preview
I'm
tonight.
just touched by everybody.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
know you are, baby.
wonderful.
You love these
Ben
guys.
says, just got home from school. In my opinion, Dio is the greatest metal singer of all time.
Yeah.
The Breaking Into Heaven box set by Heaven and Hell, renamed from Sabbath with Dio, is set to release in a couple weeks. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've
We'll
heard
have
of
to
it.
check that out.
Oh,
Thank
you know
Ben.
what, Ben? And Ben gave us a $20 yesterday,
I
and he
know.
wasn't able to see it. Ben's just been, he's just attained a, what is that called? Internship
Yeah, yes, he
to
did.
become a social worker.
Yes.
He's in
yeah.
school. He's one of our younger viewers, and
He's
I'll
awesome.
repeat what I said yesterday. Congratulations!
I know, Ben.
You know?
That is awesome.
We have a daughter
Hard
who
work,
just got her
interns,
internship at a major company, and we know
and it's hard.
how
It's
hard
not-
it is
yes, it
for
is.
you. And your perseverance, and we need good social workers
Yeah,
out there.
I
Too many
think it's
people
just
working in
so
that field that don't
awesome.
belong. Yeah,
So awesome, Ben.
absolutely. And so you read all of that?
Yes.
And you credited him for $10.
I sure
Okay,
did.
so I always shout out people who do give us super thanks on the previous stream, but now I have to give. See, when I did the members only, I didn't think I'd get one stinking super thanks. You guys already gave me a super thanks for being members, man.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
We've had such a
Shay
great
signing up
tribe.
today. One of the reasons I shouted it out when her or him. It sounds like a girl's name to me. I'm not sure. I don't want to just go to that, but had been with me a long time, and I don't know why. You know, people maybe it just ran out or something. She changed cards, but she, him, they came back. And she's got a gold star. She went right back to her old ranking because it's how many months you've been with it. If you leave and you come back, you still get credited the amount of months. We opened up this show. That was $7 to us. And that happened just before I got up on the show because one of our members left. We were up to 52. One member didn't renew. So it went down to 51. I went, oh, bummer. And then I did a double check at the end. Why is it down to 51 when it didn't seem that 5 came along and all of a sudden I said, oh no, it's 52. Where did I see 51? And then I saw Shay's. All right. And so this is wonderful. So we'll get into both of these from the last 2 streams. That's Sunday and yesterday afternoon stream. Michael Boswell on Sunday gave us a $5 super thanks, followed that with a $5 super thanks. Thank you, Michael. $10 right there. Rockin' Robin Bird dropped us the Deuce Hammer of Deuce Hammers with a $2 super thanks. Piccolina the Cat was in with a $5 super thanks. Ben Scheidegger was in with this is last Sunday, $10 super thanks. The Four Horsemen was in with a $10 super thanks. Royce has already been in with another one tonight. Thank you, brother. Thank you, the Four Horsemen. You folks, I hate to do it while I'm doing this, but I if there is one channel I'm directly connected to, it's the Four Horsemen and Royce Eddings. Royce and I talk all the time. We've been carrying on conversations this morning, right? So thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Go on over there and sub to him. He's hit a plateau in subs. You guys could change that tonight.
Yeah.
If after this stream you would
Oh
go
my
over there,
goodness
go to my
sakes.
channel page. He's on my featured
my
channels.
goodness.
Go over there, watch his latest stream,
Dan
and sub
just
him
came
up.
in with
What's
his-
that?
Dan just came in with a super
Oh my
thank.
goodness.
Just the facts, man. He's
The
got a
other
great
closest channel
too.
to this
yes,
channel,
he's
right?
got a great channel.
Yeah.
Go check out his channel.
Oh,
He's got some
abso-freaking-lutely.
great stuff on there.
So how much did Dan
And
give us
Dan
to sub?
gave us $10,000. I was gonna say 10,000.
Now you got Dan going, oh, I've disappointed her.
No. Uh-oh. He has something to say.
Okay, that's all right.
He
You say
says,
it, man.
No offense, Kimberly, but Bryan Adams to me always seemed a bit boring. It was like watching the kid next door on stage with little stage presence.
Oh my God, that's exactly how I feel.
That being said, I do like a few of his songs. Well, thank you, Dan. I just love his voice. It's so romantic. It just puts you in that, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's a female thing. I don't know.
I know. And there's voice. I mean, a lot of people. Who is it that I like? The real low singer. I'm just not going to think of his name. First, we take Manhattan. You know that guy. I love him. Cohen, Leonard Cohen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some people just can't dig him. I'd put him on this list in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about after he got past his, what, did he go through a Dylan phase? I became what he's saying low. I loved him. Great delivery, everything. Thanks, Dan, so much. And thank you, Royce, for tonight's super thanks and for this one as well. Storm Cop came in with a $20 super thanks.
Storm
Thank
Cop
you,
is
James.
So awesome, too.
Yeah, I hope James is doing good. Is he out today?
No, yeah, he's not here tonight.
Yeah, and he didn't make it last night. I hope you're doing well, James, if you watch this on, Rewind. James has had some tough times. It seemed like he's coming out. He even went on a cruise with his lovely wife. I think her name is Dawn, and they were celebrating their anniversary. But the year before that, I wouldn't have wanted to trade places with the man. Man was being hit with tornadoes and everything else. suffered a lot of physical damage during those times, on
I
property and
know.
everything else.
I can't
Then
imagine.
he's had some medical issues. He
Yeah.
was away for a while there.
Yeah,
We're
he
all
just
getting
got back
older.
from a cruise with his
Yeah.
wife of 20 years.
And who knows, maybe he's all, a cruise takes it out of you. Maybe he needs to just
Well,
like
sometimes you
lie in
have
a
to have a
coma for 3
vacation from
weeks.
a vacation.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need a vacation
But
from a
I think he
vacation.
was happy. And
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Absolutely, I agree. Okay, so, and then on top of that, yesterday, let me make sure I got this one the right way. Okay, which one was that? Okay. So I got that. I got Storm Cop. Okay, good. And then yesterday, I couldn't believe this. Because like I said, you guys more than paid for that just by being members. Ben was in before I ever started. And to tell you the truth, I was going 45 minutes, and once he gave this, $20. Okay? And he's already, you see what he's given us. $20, I felt like, well, now I got to sing for my supper. And so we went an hour and 40 minutes, an hour overtime based on that, and the encouragement right after when Oberheim himself, came in with a $3. That's Brandon from Down Under.
I know. I love
And then he
love
apologized.
Brandon.
Oh, I haven't done this in a while. I go, dude, dude, everybody, we're talking about how I hate that word. If Kimberly uses that word on me, it's like, I know I'm in trouble. You better have another
Oh,
think,
dear.
dude. Oh, God, I hate that word.
Yeah, I never use that
Yeah.
unless I've got an issue to take up with you.
Right.
Yeah.
She calls me hun for short all
Yeah.
the other time. I call her baby or babe
He does.
or darling. I'll call you darling. Things like
Nobody
that.
does it better.
But, dude, please never say that again to me. My heart
Okay.
sinks to my groin area, baby.
Uh-oh.
Too much information, folks? I understand that. And then Michael
Michael.
Boswell came in with a $10 super thanks and was very active in. So was Rockin' in that one. And Michael Boswell came in with a $5 super thanks as well, $15. So thank you very much.
And Divining Dragons, he wouldn't kick anybody off. He says,
Yeah.
I trust the tribe.
Yeah.
I love Divining
Well,
Dragons.
that's wonderful because I have to trust the tribe.
Oh,
know?
a Divining Dragon is saying, did you miss Joseph Blue's Deuce? Did we miss a super thanks from Joseph Blue?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, did we? Oh, my goodness.
Let me go back and see.
Oh, he just did it.
Oh, he just did
Oh,
it.
my God. Joseph Blue.
All right. Brian Adams
thank you,
is
Divining Dragons, for
is a
bringing
great
that to
singer,
my-
period.
I'm so sorry. I was busy typing. That is so nice, Joseph
Juice
Blue.
Hammer from Joseph.
Oh, he hit that proverbial.
And he
juice
agrees
hammer.
with you, baby.
Thank
Read
you
that.
so much, Joseph. He said, Brian Adams is a great singer, period. Thank you, Joseph Blue.
You
I
should
love
have seen her
Joseph Blue.
face. She looked up at me and she goes, Brian Adams is a great singer, period.
I
I
know.
swear to God, that's exactly what she just did in
I
front
know,
of me.
I love it.
Period.
I agree with
Joseph,
you.
you're
of course.
getting me in trouble, man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Period.
Joseph Blue, I love you.
Oh, God, I wish I had had a camera on you, darling.
Aw.
Period. Dude, that was the only thing missing.
Okay.
Let me see if I can
Oh,
read it.
dear.
Brian Adams is a great singer,
Yeah.
period. Dude, I could just hear it.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
I dodged a bullet with that one, didn't I? Good
Well,
Lord.
Well, goodness.
And thank you to all. I appreciate it so much. You guys make the channel run. You know what I mean by that. We talked about Van Morrison, Janis Joplin, Art Garfunkel, and Stevie Wonder. Part 6 will have this pairing. Here are the nominations. David Bowie, Linda Ronstadt, Tom Petty from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and his solo albums, Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull. Boy, there's a mix for you. From glam rock to prog rock to radio rock from a guy and a gal. How does that sound?
Yeah.
You know?
That sounds good.
That's a well-rounded pitting of people, I think. Okay, now part 7. Here's who's up for bat. John Anderson, yes.
Oh, okay.
And the Band Geeks. What's that, baby?
Oh,
Shouldn't say
Jersey
so.
Devil just came in with a super thanks too.
Oh, my goodness.
Again, Divining had to bring that because I was busy typing. Jersey Devil 411, thank you so much.
Oh, my goodness. He
That's
gave
so
a deuce
nice.
hammer, too.
Yes, he did.
He says,
That is so nice.
yeah.
He says, Michael, several hard rock guys are worthy. Yes, they are. I know.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't kick them off, Jersey Devil. It was the tribe's choice.
Right.
So,
and there are some
yeah.
hard rock guys here.
Yeah.
You know, Iron Maiden, didn't Judas Priest make it? We'll see. As a matter of fact, in this one, Jersey Devil, and it's good to see you, man. I know Jersey Devil way back from. Didn't you used to habitate at least? Did I meet you through Rachel? I know I met you through Royce. You've habitated there, and you've habitated here.
I love that name.
Jersey Devil, I remember from my early days here on YouTube. You go way back, brother, or daughter,
Yeah.
or sister. It doesn't say it's a he. I would imagine most guys would choose something like that. Joyzy Devil, Do you pronounce it Joyzy?
Joyzy.
Yeah. Joyzy
Okay.
Devil, which could then become Noisy Devil. That's me. I'm a noisy devil. Okay, so anyway, John Anderson from Yes and the Band Geeks, and you can include his solo albums too. Ozzy Osbourne, John. Black Sabbath and solo. All right, so we've got some hard rockers there. How about Sammy Hagar from Montrose, Van Halen, and his solo career? There's a monster for you. And Prince from his solo and The Revolution. Whoa. And to think two of those guys got to fall. What do you do with that? That'll be coming up in part 7. Part 8 will include Pat Benatar, Roy Orbison. Oh, that's right. When I got to it, I said Roy Orbison wasn't on at the beginning because he got knocked off, but 2 of you went and voted and put him back on. We replaced him, didn't we, baby?
Yes, we did.
So Roy Orbison maybe rocks. If you're going to talk about that style of singing, he's what Elvis Presley wished Elvis Presley could sound like.
Yeah.
God, what a hauntingly beautiful male voice.
Yes, yes.
I was alright.
You know what? Harley Coppola of Savaka said Pat Benatar blows all the female vocalists away.
So far, for me,
Oh,
yeah,
I love
I understand
I
Janice's
love Pat
greatness.
Benatar.
I do.
Yeah.
But Pat Benatar, first of all, gorgeous. So I was a young man when she first came out, and I went, okay, I like that. But then you just almost quit looking at her physical beauty at the time. She still looks good. She's aged real well. But it was that impossible voice that came out of that little what? She's got to be about 3.5 feet tall, And you can't have that powerful of a voice coming from
in such a tiny package.
that tiny package.
I know.
Good Lord.
She is incredible. I
Yeah.
know. She really is.
And then-
the voice that she belts out.
Oh,
like
God.
you said,
And
from
she's got to
her
go against
little-
Roy Orbison.
Yeah, she's on that level, all right.
And then they got to go against Paul Simon, who's the third one up.
Hit me with your...
And just when you thought maybe Roy Orbison and Pat Benatar, they might be fighting, maybe Paul said, oh, I don't know. They got to go against Elton John. Ooh. Uh-oh. What's going to happen on that part? Only
Oh,
you
boy.
guys can tell me. It's out of my hands. I get no vote. Part 9, second to the last part here. Here are the nominees. John Lennon, The Beatles, and solo career. All right. I looked up lists when I first started this of greatest singers, and you'd be surprised how many lists John Lennon's name caught up that Paul McCartney wasn't on. Now, I think Paul's got a better voice, a slightly better voice, more versatile, I should say, not better.
Yeah, Paul's
Then John.
Michael's man.
But as my longtime viewers know, John's got to be on that list.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them are in my top 10 singers of all
John
time.
does have, one of the viewers said, John Lennon has such a unique
Yeah.
voice. It's amazing.
The motorcycle you're hearing going back and forth are the idiots that live next door. Them and their little dog,
Now be
too.
nice, hon.
That dog comes over the fence.
And Michael and him bark at each other. Yes.
Well, he jumped the fence and nipped at Taylor. Didn't break any skin or anything.
Yeah.
That, because he thinks now my territory's his. I am one old dog. You don't do that.
That is
to.
the definition of a dog.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, they're territorial.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so are guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is one dog ain't gonna put up with that shit at all.
Yeah.
Some little freaking pit bull. I got just the stick to put you down. Attacking my, oh boy. And it's not the animal, it's the irresponsible owners and their, 12-year-old that's riding a motorcycle on a public way right now. Anyway, Freddie Mercury, Queen, is on this list. Greg Allman, the Allman Brothers, will be going against John Lennon, and Roger Daltrey from The Who. Good Lord. What do you do with that one? And finally, part 10, Robert Plant versus Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, versus Paul freaking Rogers of Bad Company Free and his solo efforts versus Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. What do you do with this? And only half of these people I just named off to you will make the list. But being nominated is an honor.
Joseph Blue wants to know if Brad Delp got on the list.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
And he was on an early list.
Oh.
And what took him off? I'm trying to remember. Certainly worthy.
Yeah.
Certainly
also,
worthy.
Brandon 1351 wants to know, has anyone mentioned Dennis DeYoung?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, that's
From Styx? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just so many. And after I did it and I was looking at what we had created yesterday and everything, 15 or 20 singers came to my mind. Well, what were you thinking, But we had to get it down to a manageable list. I think this is a good list. I think it's a good list. It's wide. It includes some pop rock singers. Includes some heavy metal singers. It's got a good blues-based band singers, things like that. Singer-songwriter bands, solo singer-songwriter artists. Not a lot from maybe Motown. Could have been a little bit heavier with Motown.
Maybe
I'm surprised.
Aretha Franklin.
I'll tell you what
Diana.
happened was Marvin Gaye was on it originally.
Marvin Gaye is epic.
Yeah.
I just love
And
it.
he got knocked off. I'm trying to remember how he got knocked off.
Yeah.
But he was originally on it.
By the Tribe.
Diana Ross was originally on it.
Yeah.
Tina Turner was on it, but she got knocked off yesterday by these guys.
But no Aretha
I think it was
Franklin.
Robin. What's that?
No Aretha Franklin, and I love Aretha.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not going.
No Celine Dion. I
wonder how that happened, baby.
Michael looks like he wants to hit me.
No, I'm just.
She's akin to Mariah Carey.
I was just curious as to how that might have happened.
Yeah.
Well, remember my motto: there will be no Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
On this list.
No
there ain't gonna
Bee
be any Celine Dion either, baby.
There was no Bee Gees either.
Yeah. Okay, all right. One of you, who was it? I think it was Doc Insomnia. That's a good point. Why no Bee Gees? Okay, we're looking for lead singers on this one. That's why there's no Beach Boys. And I didn't feel that with the Bee Gees and the Beach Boys, they're fine lead singers, but not against these guys.
Yeah.
Right? As a matter of fact, I think it was Carl Wilson that delivered the best vocal, and he was considered one of the weaker singers of the Beach Boys. But his big song, what was that? God Only Knows, If God Only Knows. What a wonderful, powerful. So if I were going to, one of you, it may have been Doc, was saying, what about the Beach Boys, right? In that case, what about the Everly Brothers? They're not on here.
Oh, they're great.
All right. So maybe next year we can include certain sections of harmony groups. But a whole lot of the Everly Brothers, the Beach Boys, all made it as a band. Well, the Everly Brothers got voted down, but the Beach Boys got in there. Who else that was heavy vocals? Of course, the Beatles, their three-part harmonies. Who else was it? Oh, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young made it.
Oh,
Okay.
and Justin Hayward.
Justin Hayward, yeah.
The Moody
And with Justin Hayward, the only reason I didn't include him on my master list was he's a fine singer, he's a better songwriter, and good enough to sing his songs and everything. He's great, There's not a problem with it, but you can't compare Justin Hayward to Paul McCartney or John Lennon. And the Moody Blues is to me, at times, had a very prog Beatle approach, As a matter of fact, I think the Moody Blues are pretty much rock's first prog band. Now somebody will come up and go, what about this guy? But I think they pretty much are the first prog rock. Some people would consider them more proto-prog. I don't know why. I don't know why you would think that. They cover all the dots of what prog was, so just slip your starting time back to them at least.
Yeah.
And they made it. The Moody Blues are in. So what I'm talking about here, these are and so is Led Zeppelin, yet here's Robert Plant. If Robert Plant makes this, he'll be a 2-time inductee. Jimmy is a 2-time inductee because he was with Led Zeppelin, and he made the guitar slot. Okay? So there's a lot of these singers who will become. Now let me explain. What do you mean 2-time winner? We have, and it was Christian who put a lot of thought into this, and I adopted his idea. And let me explain. I've got a little diagram here that'll explain how this works. Where did that diagram go? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Get back here. Okay, so here it is. The Mount Rock Olympus Hall of Fame. These are the Platinum, Titanium. Yeah, okay, we went with the second. I have at first I was going to say if you got nominated once, that's a bronze nomination. Twice silver. Gold is 3 times. We have 2 gold members that have been nominated 3 times. Yardbirds, Led Zeppelin, and guitarist Jimmy Page is a gold medal, gold trophy winner. And then if you get a 4th nomination, you will go to platinum. And I was going to go to titanium to platinum, but Christian changed my mind. Platinum is for 4th, and 5 times will be diamond. And I think from that point, we'll go diamond plus, diamond plus plus. Yeah, baby.
Oh, I was just going to say, Dr. Insomnia brought up Brian Wilson and Frankie Valli. You got to recognize the falsettos.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I agree with him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I know, but the list had to be pared down.
It did have to be pared down.
Right.
What he was talking about, because he was the one who was talking about, and it's good to see you, and I'm glad you made it, Doc, because I knew you were worried about it. Yesterday was St. Paddy's Day, so everything was light, or he didn't go to work. I don't know if they shut it down because of the holiday, but for whatever reason, things weren't busy or not going on. And he's at a package distributing center, and he's got a ton of response. I can't imagine. I've done that type of work. I was the chief warehouse agent for pocket rockets. You remember those?
Yeah.
They come up with the latex.
Yep.
I worked at the factory that produced that and the family that developed that. I put those suckers together. I bubble packed them, and then I got into warehouse. And I was bringing in, we'd bring in the tubes, and then we'd have them, coated, so that they looked all silvery and everything. Bring them back. We had people put them together. pocket rockets. You'd get a little pocket
That widget
slingshot with a
factory.
leather thing, and you held it, and it had this latex draw, super powerful, blam,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Dangerous.
So, Doc, I know some of your job. And I also worked forcefully when I was out at the state hospital for a couple of months at shipping and receiving as well. Did a little bit of everything out there when people thought that they could come and get me due to political differences. That's all right. I sued the state of California and won. So anyway, that's how that happened. Okay, how this is happening. So there's chances for multi-level winners to happen over this. Now, when we're done with this poll, I'll let it run for a while, just like I did, and then we're going to do a third poll. And this year, this will be the final poll before we do our yearly poll for new bands and artists. And that will be the greatest bass players. That way we cover drums, guitar, bass, singers. And then next year we'll talk about keyboards, horns, harp, xylophone,
Oh, my goodness.
whatever. We'll handle that in a potpourri kind of fashion, folks. All right, and the reason we're doing this, why is he doing this all of a sudden this big? Because, I'm 70 freaking 1 years old, for one thing. I can't guarantee I'll be here in 10 years doing this, right? And we got some catching up to do. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has done such an abysmal job. And you guys set me into action. And if there's one thing, Royce was just telling me, he goes, he has trouble keeping up with me, Because, and I told him, if you haven't seen my video message back at you, Royce, I really do appreciate. He goes, I'm the one channel, it doesn't matter if I put out a short, if I put out a poll, if I put out a video, a members only video, a stream, he's there. Unless he's sick or Betty needs him. And he knows if Betty needs him, I'm always go for it, mate. Happy wife is a happy life, right? So anyway, this whole process has been something that I tear into like a bone, okay? And I got to get this done. It took, I've said when I first started streaming, I'm kind of feel like I'm riding a wild beast here, folks, and I can't guarantee I'm going to do it. First, I was only going to do it once a week. Then I was going to do it twice a week. But then I was doing it on Tuesdays, maybe Wednesdays. I got to drop back to Thursday. You ride the beast a while. You ride this idea of the Mount Rock Olympus Hall of Fame a while, and you go, bucked me off that time, did ya? Huh? Shadowfax? Someone get that freaking horse back into the pen and let me at him again. And it kind of goes that way, folks. I'm a nutcase. I'm a bit of a workaholic, right? I'm always thinking. I spend inordinate amounts of time thinking about, first of all, what do I wish to talk about? And again, you have to understand, before I sign off, I want you to know, what is the mission of this channel? Why do I have this freaking channel to begin with? That is to serve the best interests of especially the classic rock era from 65 to 2005, but also the 50s rock era, the blues artists from the 30s and 20s, right? And the newest bands right up into this very moment. And to service that, but to procure, and I always use this word, the elements, the truthful stories, and to be bold about that, okay? To be bold about that, and let's set it in concrete, because too many freaking people are rewriting rock history. And one of the biggest guilty parties on the planet is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All right? So, anyway, we'll go with that. Sunday night when I stream, I'll keep you apprised of what's going on with this. But I'm going to try and talk about something I can handle in an hour and go back to let's talk about something. You guys got any ideas? Right? I've got several. I always got 5 or 6 ideas for streams I could do in the drop of a hat. But if I hear from you guys in the replay on this, give me some ideas. And if it hits me right with the energies I got this week, I'll change my plans on Sunday and we'll do it up. I've got a few days. I can do any research I don't know about, or I can put out. I've got 2 ideas I could do on Sunday. All right, and that's a shorter program, and that's more concise. There's less talking. I've got a certain amount of information to impart, and so when I do it that way, and you got to understand, I start at 5. Roy starts at 6:30, and I'm on the Four Horsemen. I'm part of his panel. Okay, so in order for me to get up there, I kind of got to close off at anywhere from 6:20 at the latest. I don't think I've gone more later than 6:18 one night. So 6 to 6:15 is a good guess. And usually you get more powerful, compact, concise content on those. And here on Wednesdays, it's a chance for me to get a little breathing room. I act a little more goofy, talk a lot more back and forth with Kimberly. Kimberly, I got to say this, and she didn't know I was going to say this. You have become such an integral part of this show, baby.
Hon.
The conversation, I know don't make me blush, but really, seriously, I couldn't do this without you, darling, and I appreciate it.
My goodness. Well,
Serious.
what could I say? I love the tribe.
Well, they love you, I can
love
tell.
the tribe.
You've got your protectors. It's like the tribe has its knights
Yeah.
of round table. Dan,
Yeah.
Royce, Christian, Storm Cop, God, and a zillion, Brandon, so many of them would just come out and absolutely defend your honor. I got my guys, baby.
I know.
Yeah, they got my back.
I know.
They got my back.
That's-
You want to say anything evil about this channel, you just lay your freaking eyes on me.
I know. Absolutely.
Me.
The way it should be.
I'm the focus. I'm the guy you want to worry about, not my wife. Okay? Plain and simple. That's a fact. Oh, is that a fact? Yeah, that's a fact. That is set in mother freaking stone. Anyway, thank you, darling. I appreciate it. I love each and every one of you out there. God, I just been watching you tick off here. I can't even keep up with you guys. We had a great crowd. We've got 50 watching right now, right up to the very end. And by the way, all these super thanks you saw here, right? Keep this in mind, folks. I don't do this for them. These people are helping support the channel because they can. I do it for you. The 50 that are 49. Okay, I lost somebody. But the 49 of you that are watching right now, you're the people I'm trying to reach. You're the people I'm trying to empower with my polls. You're the people that I want a give and take from. That's what a tribe is. Not one head honcho. They call me the tribe master around here. Why do they do that? Well, it's a nickname some of you gave me. You guys created the tribe out of me just doing a sign off because I envisioned this tribe, you as a tribe, and I'd go, remember, we are the tribe. But, you guys are the ones that, we are the tribe. Yeah, we are. You got into it, and you made it real. You made it real, not me. It was this thing in my head, a sign off, right? And then you started calling me Tribe Master. Well, over here, Tribe Master means I get to speak first, and then you guys get to tell me how wrong I am. Gets down to that, right? And it has to work that way, right? It's my channel. We're going to do a live. Somebody's got to say something. I'm the one with the camera in front of me, right? And so I give it a thing, but I try to also back off. I'm willing to go toe-to-toe with people. I don't want you to agree with me. I don't give a damn whether you agree with me at all. It's what I believe. It's what works with me. I'm pleased that some of you think I make sense some of the time. But I don't want anybody to give up or to ever feel like, oh, yeah, to be over there, you kind of got to agree with don't have to agree with me.
No, just
the one
ask
thing you have
Michael
to be,
Boswell.
you have to be respectful in your disagreements. You can't call me a muckerfutter to my face. That's going to get you kicked out faster than shit. But if you want to say, damn it, Michael, you're fucking crazy, All right, if you can get that across the YouTube algorithm, I'm not going to delete that comment. Because you know what? Sometimes I'm fucking crazy. All right?
Well, the last troll you had was claiming that you buy subs.
Yeah, do not mention that name. We mentioned that name on the stream last night because, well, that's
Yeah.
on my private members. And if a troll gets in there, I can unmember him real quick. But so we're not going to mention any names. But yeah, that. Well, actually, he wasn't the one that was claiming that. That was that other retard. That's not politically correct, Nolan. Yeah, I know. Get used to it. But everybody's watching me grow so fucking organically. It's ridiculous. And you know what? My success isn't because of anything I've done, whether buying subscribers or anything. It's you folks. You
Brian
folks.
Howard says, you have a good sense of humor, dude. Just kidding. Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
oh goodness.
Them's fighting words. Yeah, dude. What was that Point Break where the two, Keanu Reeves comes up and goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, big bug, missed it by that much, bro." And the guy goes, "He fucking yanked my hair out." And he goes, "Chill out. At least he didn't bust us." Because they're under a blanket smoking tons of pot or something like that.
Yep, exactly.
You know? I love that. But, to me, where I come from, a dude, no, I'm more, I'm a cowboy. Mazzy's a dude. Ooh, he did it live on the air again, Mildred. Anyway, folks, good Lord, how long have we been going? Almost 2 hours. Good, I feel good. Because I wanted to go a little longer than the stream with the members only. I will say this: all you members, get on over and watch it. Give me a thumbs up so I see how many of you liked it and how that goes. Because there's a lot we covered there, and you really will be in the know if you catch that. I want to one final shout out again to James Stormcop 55. Who's been buying so many free memberships and gifting it to you people. What I'm trying to do over there is to give you enough that you'll stay beyond that first month. But whether it's you try it for a month and going, it's not my cup of tea, but at least for that month, you become a tribal elder. I have another tier over there where you're a tribal chieftain. And those folks, I've got to supply something for them because I try to supply bang for the buck. Okay, I want that to be worth something. Because you guys were joining up, I didn't have any content over there. Just because you wanted the channel to succeed.
I know.
Isn't that amazing, baby?
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So
is.
we were talking about that before we came up on stream where she goes, I just can't believe what James has done.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
he's probably added 15, maybe 20 new members. And Ben Scheidegger added one, wasn't it?
Yep.
Ben
he sure
Scheidegger
did.
added one. Didn't Beast LVX add one time? And who else? A few of you. But Stormcop's been buying like 5 at a time.
Oh, yeah.
That's a $35 super thanks. That's a bit of a change out of his pocket. And I'm trying to make sure that you guys who benefited from his most recent gifts, this last week to 2 weeks, he's done that quite a bit. I'm trying to give you something of value over there, folks. Okay? But not a second or a minute bit of energy will ever be taken off this portion of the channel. That's extra. I work at it, but only after I've got everything, all my P's and Q's, T's crossed, I's dotted on the bottom line. This is my focus. I love each and every one of you. And I can't believe it. I've had about 4 fantastic, maybe 5 fantastic streams that I have just enjoyed, at the top of enjoyment, And the ones that were less enjoyable were mainly handling some dastardly villains and things like that. But, or I'm off on a rant, Those are least, enjoyable for me. Believe it or not, I'm one of those guys, I got to open my mouth if I think something. I just got to, sorry. Dan, Michael Boswell, Royce knows better than anybody tonight. If I got something to say, it comes out. But at least with me, folks, you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. I've had to do some apologizing recently.
Oh, my goodness, hon.
What's that?
Brett Glasgow just came in with a deuce hammer.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, Brett. That's so
Oh,
nice.
my God. Oh, man.
Oh.
And Brett, you've been
Brett
with me
Glasgow.
a long time. Long live rock and roll, he says.
Yes, amen,
Swinging
amen,
the
Brett.
Thor's deuce hammer. I can just see Thor, the god of thunder, doing that right now. What is that?
That's
Let's
so
see.
nice.
Here it is. Here's the deuce hammer, folks. Let me get rid of Captain America's shield here. All right. Here's the deuce hammer. All right. Mount Mjolnir. Thank you, Brett. And Brett's been with me a long time. Haven't you,
Yeah.
Brett? Years. I think years. It's amazing I can say years now. Right, baby?
Yes, you can.
First 2 years, you feel like you're such a rookie. And the channel hit such massive success. I felt like for a while it was like I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. And then Alice Cooper showed up at my door and said, "You're worthy."
Goodness sakes, son. You're so mean.
And then started giving
Dramatic.
me facts about Modesto. Modesto isn't exactly a desert town. It's more of a semi-arid environment or a hot Mediterranean climate, Michael. All right, she's going, what the hell are you talking about? She doesn't like slapstick comedy. I'm kind of semi-quoting Wayne's World. They're what town are they out of? And is that Chicago? But anyway, he's going, yes, and he starts giving a library of information. Totally not Alice Cooper, the decapitated monster that we've come to know and love so well. Right, Caitlin?
Yeah.
Right? Caitlin and I have our disagreements, like Michael. Hell, I got disagreements with Royce and Dan, okay? All right, I got disagreements with everybody. I don't let that snooker me at all. I love you guys, each and every one. Just, and if I'm wrong, let me know, If I've wronged you, let me know. And I'm usually pretty good at owning up to my shortcomings. But I got to tell you, Caitlin and I just absolutely adore a key amount of bands. Alice Cooper's got the Monkees, right? Caitlin and I just love those bands. I'm not going to apologize for liking the Monkees any more than I'm going to apologize for not liking Motley Crue, which she loves.
Yeah.
But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. All right, folks. 7:01, we went 2 hours, or we're going to be so close by the time I click that off button, we'll be at 2 hours here. And like I said, I've enjoyed the hell out of this. I'm not sure what Royce's show is going to be on. Royce, you did tell me. Why don't you type it in? It's not coming to me. He was going to talk. What was it? What was Royce telling me his show's going to be on Sunday? It was real cool. Oh, it almost came to me. It almost came to me. Oh, yes. The guitarist for, We Are the Sultans. We Are the Sultans. Dire Straits. What's his name?
Yeah.
I'm just not going to think about it. Because he likes the way he finger picks. So does Lindsey Buckingham, by the way. But Mark Knopfler, he's going to be talking about that. So I'd like to do a show that's a companion to that, but not take any of his ideas or the exact artist. I wonder, do a show. If he's going to do that, maybe I should do a show on Fleetwood Mac, kind of focusing on Lindsey Buckingham. What do you guys think about that? We'll do a double bill. I'm just thinking off the top of my heart. Mark Knopfler, Royce came in. Mark Knopfler.
Yeah.
Mark freaking Knopfler, Noland.
Thank you, Royce.
You damn dumb monkey. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I figured it out. But
You
we could
did.
do something like that. Do a double bill, you know, at the drive-in. Sunday nights at the drive-in with Michael Noland, The Bottom Line, and the Four Horsemen, featuring Royce Eddings, right? And
Featuring Royce
a bunch
Eddings,
of guys.
Dan,
Dan McNew, and of course Chris Elliott.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that cranky old warhorse bastard they got running sometimes second chair over there, huh?
Oh, Michael Noland?
That guy, yeah. Hey, you can't have everything,
I mean,
you know?
who said you
That-
can't?
To be able to experience the wonderful and nice Royce, you kind of got to put up with the cranky old bastard just to his left.
Hey, Rockin' Robin Bird said, yeah, Lindsey Buckingham.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Let me know after this stream. Put it in. I'd love a Lindsey Buckingham stream, or I'd love a Fleetwood Mac bass, and then I'll give a special block. He made our top. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Fleetwood Mac, and as a guitarist, I put him in. That was my idea. Okay, because his whole idea, his guitar, that kind of Les Paul sort of kind of thing that he plays, and his approach. Oh God. And then I could talk about him as a vocalist, and then I can talk to him about him as a songwriter, and then I can talk about him as a man of conviction and or one of the most brilliant producers in rock and roll. How much talent does that man have tied up in his little pinky? Okay?
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac, yeah, we're great.
Yep.
I also like Peter Green. Yeah. We'd
Peter
have to do that.
Green.
Maybe we could do a blend from Peter Green to Bob Weir to, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Want to do a Fleetwood Mac one on Sunday, guys? Fleetwood Mac, and then to the Dire Straits. Christ, Royce, we're going to wipe the floor
B
with other
says,
competing streams.
At the drive-in with the Four Horsemen. would
Hi,
be
Angela.
great.
Good to see you. What's
Yeah.
that, baby?
B. Stelviex said, at the drive-in with the Four Horsemen would be splendid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your lead up feature. I was telling this to Royce. If we were a band, my show is rehearsal. His show is the show. I lead up to his show. That's why I encourage all the horsemen to come over here on my show, especially on Sunday, guys. Make it over there. Let's do it, because in the comments as much as I kind of build up to Royce, you guys can build us up to Royce in the comments, man. And that means Dawson, that means Novus Nick, of course Dan and Chris, right? Because they're up there all the time. But when they can't make it, we've got other rotating horsemen. Dave Hopfrog, anybody who's been up there since we've been the Four Horsemen, come on over here. You're doing Royce a solid by coming over here, because then you can bump him up going, oh, I really like Royce, despite the fact that 4 war horses on there. I like the nice guy. I don't like that cranky old bastard, but he's gotten better at shutting up quicker when he interrupts people. I'm learning the ropes, people. Besides, by the time I get up on Royce's these days, I'm pretty much exhausted. It still doesn't stop me from saying what's on my mind, though, huh, Royce? He goes, yeah, we got to work on that, Michael. I love you, brother. I do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You too, Dan. You too. And the rest of you as well. All right, folks, we're well past the 2-hour mark. I'll see you on Sunday. If I am not shooting, I got to shoot a regular video here either tomorrow or the next day. Okay? And then we'll see you on Sunday at 5 p.m. and then the following Wednesday at 5 p.m. That's always PST. And then after my show at 5 p.m. PST, right? Adjust your local times accordingly. Comes Royce in the House at 6:30 p.m. PST. Adjust your local times accordingly. And between our two shows, we usually just have a jam-packed, anywhere from 2.5 to sometimes up to 3 hours of entertainment for you folks. 2 shows, 3 hours, Sunday evening. Where else would you want to be, Bunky? It's our place. Come on over and enjoy. All right, folks, I'll see you on Sunday and probably before with another shot video. Thanks so much for all of you showing up. God, we still have 41, and I've just been rambling for the last 5 minutes. All right, thanks, folks, and I'll see you on Sunday, if not sooner. Night.
Good night.
You want to say good night, Kimberly?
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, great. Well, she's getting closer, folks. She's getting closer.
I'm getting closer.
We'll work on it.
Okay.